Doc is back. Welcome to Medically Speaking with Dr. Winston Alexis, hosted by Tyrone Robertson. Join Doc and his guests as they discuss healthcare and the Caribbean community every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on caribcast.tv, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and most other popular podcast platforms.
I didn't grow up here, but Broward County has become home to me. This is where I settled. I raised my family here and started my practice here. For over 20 years, I've represented my neighbors, people who needed help in a stressful time. If you find yourself in need of an attorney, reach out to someone you can trust, someone with a proven track record.
When a car accident or personal injury sets you back, call Scott McCullough.
954-989-3435.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's episode of Medically Speaking with Dr. Winston Alexis. Doc.
Yeah.
What do you have to tell me this day now?
Boy, I know one thing, I'm alive, and I had the both vaccine. The last one, I got, the second one was 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I promised the listeners, remember in the beginning, all you afraid? Let me go first. I'm going to be a scapegoat.
Yes.
And if 3 weeks after I'm done, I'm still alive.
And nothing?
No. Tyrone, it hurt my hand a little bit when I get the first one. And this second one, a little under the weather, but no headache, could still work. That's about it. Well, I haven't heard anything worse than that yet.
Well, that's a perfect.
And by the way, my wife took the other one. I took Pfizer, she took Moderna.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they did it.
And she's had both as well?
Both as well. Same symptoms. A little under the weather when you get the second one.
And that's it?
That's it.
After
for
that,
us.
everybody's fine?
I have not heard of one person who have had a serious reaction in this country.
Okay.
But as usual, minority areas tend to have the conspiracies.
Yes. Well.
We talk about QAnon and them, but we have our own,
of course,
problems, conspiracy theories, just like those idiots that we have ours. People who listen to crap on TV, like what they call it, chip in your arm. Now listen, nobody interested in following halfway with it. We have no money, we own nothing, we have no influence. Who the hell want to follow Winston Alexis?
Let me ask this question though, Doc. So with this new variants that they're talking about, where does that sit now with the vaccine and or with people who have had it and have antibodies?
Right. By the way, variant is not a new word, People sound like, oh, this pandemic have variants. Every virus.
Yeah. Well, we spoke about it some weeks back.
This is why we have to keep getting boosters for flu.
Right.
And by the way, a lot of the flu is with the coronavirus, It's just a different variety.
Yes.
Right, so variation, believe me, we'll make minor adjustments where boosters may have to be given for a while.
Okay.
But let me tell you, this is the key you don't understand. People think variant, it's some. Viruses cannot grow by themselves. Like you put bacteria down there with a piece of old pork, it will multiply and multiply. A virus can't do that. Virus need a living human so they could duplicate themselves. They don't have the mechanism to make babies.
Got you.
They come into my system and steal my DNA to make theirs so they could make more of them. And as soon as it feels it go kill me, it look for a new person. So the more people it has, that's the only way it can live. That's why Master Trump thought it will just run itself out. And the reason it has not, the flu virus does, why? There's only a few of us have it. But when the world have it, that means it have how much billion people in the world? That's how much the virus have to perpetuate itself. And the more it perpetuates itself, the more it changes. Let me tell you what it means by that. If you could take a human being and you could multiply him 1 billion times in a week, humans will have a lot more mutations. But you see how long it takes for a generation to go with us? You have to go in a belly, you have to live for 9 months, you have to born, you have to be a little child, grow up, big man. So we are not duplicating at a fast rate. That's why our mutations are slow. It takes generations.
Got you.
Thousands of years. But when you have billions of the copies of these things being made in a week down one street, the more you replicate is the more, you know what a variation is an error that make the thing look a little different. And it's not because you're trying to do it. With duplication, errors become more often, and each error is a variant.
Got you.
So the way to stop the variants, now get rid of this thing quickly. Because the more it multiplies, the more variant. That's why people gotta go and get their vaccination.
Okay.
And stop talking all this nonsense I see. Especially my people. It's annoying me. And
Yes,
I'm not talking about the average person, you know what annoying me? Nurses. Some doctors. What is wrong with these people?
So do you have any of your colleagues who have?
Well, the doctors who do it is conspiracy theory.
You know any of them?
I heard of them. I'm sure I know, but they're smart enough not to talk about it.
Okay. Any of your
Just look for the ones who are wearing no mask.
any other nurses that you interact with?
Yeah, but when they hear me, Doc, you really, I see, not only really, they tell me take 5 or going for 5 injections. All you're crazy. This thing will not kill you. Nobody is interested in putting no chip in your body. If you're a billionaire, maybe.
So what is the main reason that you're hearing? Let's say from some of the nurses that you have
it knew.
that you talked to. That really
and we know, yeah. What they don't know is they have been working on this for years, but they were working at their own pace because they didn't expect no pandemic. So when you hear they hurry up the process, they didn't start from scratch. It's been going on for years and years. They've been working on coming up with a new way to make vaccines. Warp speed only make them do it quicker.
Right.
They put aside everything else they were working on.
And focus on
Right, no lab work on one thing. There are thousands of them they're working with every day. They put down everything. That's what warp speed. That's why it comes so quick. It's not because they started it when Trump say warp speed. Most of them many of them were already in the testing phase.
Doc, why wouldn't they make this statement publicly that that's what the case is?
They're not like medically speaking. We speak to people in their tongue.
Okay. So
right? You notice that way I talking to people in our language.
Yes.
That's why, let me tell you, and that is not only in medicine. I have signed mortgages so much and I don't know what the hell I'm signing. This fat. So all I do is show the pay. Again, nobody, and that's why we get into trouble.
True.
Nobody's explaining to us in what teaching was about when I was a little boy. It's taking complex thing and breaking it down. So this simple mind.
Yes.
That's why I used to teach. That's why I became a good teacher. I used to teach biology. Because I used to be angry when my students fail. Not with them, with me.
Because you didn't.
My ego was so big, I said, listen, you have to do this thing in a way that they can understand. That's why I'm a good teacher. That's why my patients like when I counsel. I don't talk to them in doctor's term. And they're talking about variation. Nobody understand what the hell you mean. Viruses change as they multiply.
As I've said before, I really need to put in a call to the
Fauci.
CDC and
tell them listen to medically speaking with Tyrone and Doc. with the hell. Huh?
So let's talk a little bit then about the pandemic and what we see or what you think we're going to see moving forward. Specifically though in our community. I really want to zero in on that.
I always like to give examples of America.
Yeah.
That's what I talk about. If you don't move with the times in America, you are going to be left behind. And I came here in 1961, and we as Caribbean has to make one step forward. as far as getting a piece of this pie and letting them know we're here. I saw something about Martin Luther King, and I'm supposed to make a statement is this. It's your responsibility to let this country know you are here.
Yes.
You can't wait on them to find out about you. And the only way you're going to get respect is when you are someone they can call. They can say, it's that. You see them? Even QAnon, her name.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Me, I even know what that meant anyway. I know it's something. Nobody hear about us. Millions of us here. I remember one of the Olympic thing at Trinidadian was the guy in charge of the Olympic in Atlanta. They say it's the best opening ceremony they ever see. Trinidad never take no credit for it. Right? I hear they talk about New Orleans. New Orleans Carnival.
Yeah, no.
Can't match Trinidad and Tobago. Nowhere can.
Of course not.
But it's Trinidad and Tobago. We need to make a point in this community. We are here. And the way you do it, number one, is to understand how America operates. Every time something big like this happens, there are changes that are going to come that's permanent. Let me give you an example. The first car, I was an intern. For all the 16-year-olds think they need a car. First car, me and the wife drive bus till I was already a doctor, an intern before I see my first car. Mm-hmm. I buy this thing called a deuce and a quarter. Mm-hmm. The car's so big with a white roof, green body, and you used to drive with a gangster lean.
Of course.
When I drive it, you can't see me, because leaning down on the side. So I'm going down there with it. The only thing is, every 10 miles I have to stop at a gas station.
Yes.
Drink it.
A gas guzzler.
And then boom. We had some fights, remember, with the Arabs and Iran and them, and they stopped exporting oil. You had to stand up 7 hours in line to get gas, and I have to reach work at 7. So then all of a sudden, people come to their senses. You see the big hogs on them? A brand new type of car started coming up. The smaller, 6-cylinder, and that can use regular gas.
Yes.
So we learn from this. It is not a good idea in a fuel dependent economy to ever be caught with a gas shortage again.
Right, okay.
It can come.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening again. Anybody who is not thinking about an electrical car with climate change is an idiot. It's coming. It's just a matter of when. You understand what I mean? And it makes sense. It costs less money. But I could go on and on. So we need to figure out what changes this going to have in us. Dining is not going to be the same. So get ready for it. I believe that this country is on the way to home cooking and dining.
Mm-hmm.
And we will still dine out, but it will be a luxury. Once every few weeks. I have been eating out 4 days a week for, I think, the last 20 years, 15 years.
Right.
3 to 4. Why? Mrs. says she ain't cooking no more. I mean, that lady. During the week. She cook on weekends only. They say cook Saturday and Sunday. I'm glad I eat her because she take all day to cook. She's one of them country girl cook. 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 pot. And we not eat it till 4 o'clock. The slow cook.
Well,
but it's sweet. It's sweet.
She cooks well.
Oh my God. And she had an aunt. God rest her soul.
Very well.
Just a mother.
Yes.
Listen, nobody in the world cook chicken like this one. Nobody. But the point is, we would sit in the other and we say, something, when you look at it, everything is moving to delivery at home.
Yeah.
Not only that, it's cheaper.
True.
In the long run, why you want to go dine out? And either they could deliver it or they could give you pre-packaged food that you could cook yourself.
Yeah.
So I think that's a thing in the future for even people who thinking about business ventures. Cooking at home with packaged meal is the future of this country.
Right.
Public's doing it. Everybody doing it. That's one. The second thing is home working and homeschooling to some degree is going to be the land. So get ready. either not with knowledge, learning how to do this, or equipment.
Right.
That are doing your hair 3 weeks and then I buy a computer for your little son or cousin. So prepare yourself for a different world. It's not going to be going to work. Some of it
So work from home, school from home.
And you have to prepare your home for those things.
Right. Internet.
Right.
Internet
Everything.
connection.
Right. So these are things. Medicine is not going to be the same. Let me tell you. Let me throw in my piece here. I have already started virtual medicine. As a matter of fact, I'm closing down that office and starting the new one March.
Right.
I'm not going far from where I am. I'm going right by. But Tyrone, when I look, you know what the pandemic make me do? How much money I was paying my landlord. I was crazy.
Right.
I was crazy.
Yeah. But
10 years I was with him. Yes, I have a nice, pretty office. But did I need it?
It was what you thought you needed at the time, though.
But I learned now.
So don't knock it.
So my office is going to look a lot more like the office I had in Jamaica. Because guess what? That's the size I need. And why can't I talk? I talked to a patient today. I'm trying it out a little bit. It's amazing. She would have come to my office. I would have interviewed her. And then I tell her, listen, we need about 3-4 tests, So you have to go and get these things done. So she paid me for today. She got the test done. Then she have to come back in again when the test result.
Right.
You know what? I do everything on the phone. She only had to come to see me once instead of twice.
Right.
Convenient for her. She don't have to leave her kids. She don't have to leave her job. Better for me. I don't have to maintain a big office with 42 seats and a big TV and coffee. Because I'm going to be seeing less patients. You come in, get your business done and gone.
In and out.
So the future for me too is telemedicine, which is the same like home working and homeschool.
Yeah.
So get yourself prepared. But most important of all, when you see QAnon and all them things, you see who they're paying attention to, and all of a sudden they separate this group. You know why? Trump bring them out the cracks. We have to announce ourselves as a group that has been contributing to this country economically, politically, educationally.
Yes.
How do I know? Colonel Powell, Madam Vice President, who went to school with I, Howard University, right? I mean, we have to announce ourselves.
So again, we've touched on these subjects and time and time again, and it's going to take some young leaders to lead the charge.
Yeah. And I learned from commercials and I learned from America. Repeat it over and over.
Absolutely.
And that's why you're going to get tired of us on Medically Speaking and Caribbean Connection. Over and over. And we're going to go out in this community and let people see the name and know and preach this to non-Caribbean communities. Let them, hey, we are here.
Yeah.
You know, that guy, the Alexis guy is supposed to be a genius. He come from the island. Oh, no, I just slipped one in there for myself too.
On that note, Doc, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
Dr. Ronald Moore and his team at Minimally Invasive Surgery perform laparoscopic robotic procedures with the utmost precision. As a bariatric surgery specialist, Dr. Moore performs a range of surgeries and operations focusing on areas and organs of the abdomen. For gastric sleeve, bypass, and banding, to endoscopic balloon and hernia procedures, call the Office of Minimally Invasive Surgery at 954-797-4220 to schedule your appointment. Minimally Invasive Surgery has 2 convenient Broward County locations to serve you. Call 954-797-4220 to schedule your appointment today.
And we're back to Medically Speaking with Dr. Winston Alexis. So, Doc, we've been talking about the community and needing to announce ourselves. So, we have here in Broward County, where we are, a very active Broward County commissioner who was mayor. And he has done, I think, an outstanding job with his response to the pandemic and such. One of the things that I have seen is that the cities and the county on a whole, Broward County in particular, have done a pretty good job of utilizing their parks and other facilities for both testing and for administering these vaccines. Have you had any interaction with some of our elected officials, and been able to discuss with them some of the things that are going on?
As a matter of fact, I'm glad you brought up the mayor, ex-mayor. You remember why I like him so much? This is an individual who has been involved in our community. Remember when we had that seminar?
Yes.
On insurances and things?
Yes.
He came in voluntarily. Nobody tell him to come. He wasn't on. And he came up and said, you all want me to come and address our community. So I know.
Yes.
Believe in this community, but we can't leave it up to him alone. We have to make ourselves felt. And one of the ways is what Caribbean Connection is doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Repeating it and reminding them we are a special group of people, that we are worthy of marketing, that we contribute to health, to education, to the economy. We have to preach this.
I mean, we have elected officials in some of the major cities in Broward County that have really stepped up their game.
Right.
And and if I may help you out with what I think you're trying to say, Doc, is that we know as the community really need to get behind them.
Yes.
To help them, because they have done a good job, by the way, of identifying their ethnicity. Right. But we need to get behind them now and say, by the way, you see how smoothly your COVID testing went in, I'll use Miramar, for example.
This is why.
Right. Because, again, 4 of our commissioners or 3 of our commissioners and the mayor of Miramar in particular, I'm just using them as an example, are of Caribbean heritage.
I don't know why you bring this up.
Well,
one of my previous colleague and good friend is running and has run for years.
That's right. And maintain this seat.
And we have to get off our butts and go vote for Mr. Barnes.
Yes.
Part of this is personal. This is my friend.
Yes, I know he's your friend.
And we haven't been communicating much since I jumped ship. So I know you're too vexed with me, but you have to do what you have to do.
Listen, that's your
right?
pal.
But he's my partner. But you all need to get up and register to vote if you don't register yet. And go and vote. And you can't run election without money.
Mm-hmm.
So you see how Trump getting a whole heap of money from all them separate. All you need to take out, even if it's a little $25, and donate to the campaigns of our people.
So,
and I know one people in particular, Winston Barnes, who have been involved in this fight for years, on the radio, with me, in the community.
On the ground.
And the mayor was another one I know has been involved in this thing. We had a couple more in Lauderdale, but the Alexis.
Well,
so they're not, but we could come back. One of my good friends get whipping, but it's okay. But yet, again, let me be serious, like you were saying. Come out. Believe me, the municipal election, and that big word mean the people down the road, like Mr. Barnes and them, is where you start. It's okay to go vote for the president.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who actually, when the president and them give money and things to here, even the vaccine, who you think administer, who get it, where, when?
That's right. That's it.
He don't do it. The man in Washington don't do that. That's why the governor have so much influence. He taking a big up. From the governor, it comes down to our people. And if you're going to get our community first step, not just for vaccine, for any, pretty soon they're talking about building infrastructure. You listen to Biden, all of that means job and work. Our local people are going to make sure we get some of it. and that it's spent in the right way. But they can't do it unless you go vote for them.
That's right.
And do me a favor, and I send them $2-3 for me because they have to do advertising and them thing. All right? So one good thing about it, again, I endorse him. I've gone out and worked for him in the old days. I'm a little too old now, my knee and thing. But I could still big him up.
Of course.
And by the way, there's a downside to all of this. I'm telling all of these guys, like even my boy, you get licks in Lord of Hill. Once you do that, these individuals will know they have a responsibility to our community because we're supporting them.
That's right.
Right? So it's a two-way deal. People don't feel you just go and do this and we will not get anything in return. We get more than that, notoriety. When they mention the name, they'll say, Caribbean-American man.
Of course.
Is now on the seat. So you all, and not only him, get up in all where our elections
whatever
are.
City you are in.
Right.
Get
And go
involved.
vote. And go vote.
Get involved in your local elections. So, Doc, let's talk again now. I want to talk a little bit about... I want to go back to the vaccine.
Yes.
If you don't mind.
Yes.
So, I know that frontline workers, I know that people age 65 and older. Any insight on what else is coming for folks who are not frontline workers and who are under 65?
You frightened me. I thought you were going to ask me, is a little inside where we...
No, man, no, man. Everything above board, man.
Because you know Jamaica, what's above board? Jamaica always looking... I surprised they find a way to slide here and there yet. But they're coming down. The point is, let me give you a piece of information that people don't understand. We said the more people get vaccine, the less we have to worry.
Right.
Right? Because you're cutting down how many people the virus could go to be replicated. It cannot divide itself by itself. It needs a human.
Right. But so again, I asked the question because I have been asked.
Yeah.
Right? People are asking me, you hear anything? When us as in our 50s, when were we going to get our opportunity to get vaccines?
I have a feeling that once they have taken care of the ones that they think is important, including vote-wise, you know, this thing, the elderly in this place vote, that it will then come down to everybody, but then it's a free-for-all.
Right.
You just have to call and be prepared to wait for long periods of time. How soon that happens have to do with the supply. And the supply is getting quicker and quicker. So not bad. I would be surprised if by the middle of next month, anybody, it's a matter get calling in, make your appointment, go stand up and wait.
Right.
But if you think it's going to reach a time when it's only you in the line, you're wrong. You have to do some waiting.
Yes.
So I figure out, stay online, keep up with it. And believe me, there are a lot of groups pressuring to make sure it's done in an equitable fashion. No matter how much people you have, you know it's going to take a little, like all the rich people around me, I'm sure they get theirs already. But that's life. That's life. I see some. I ain't calling on you.
Next question for you, Doc. Where do you see the testing as things progress? Where do you see the testing? I know that one of the things that I see is that travel, now in particular, that to travel they're looking for you to show a negative.
Let me go back a little bit again. It's all about cutting off the supply of humans to transmit this thing.
Right, okay.
All right, so testing will tell us, give an idea about the demographics. Where is it occurring most?
Okay.
Then we will say, okay, it's only in Louisiana. We're going to require proof of vaccination in Louisiana. But Florida doing well, we ain't have to get no proof of, so they're going to try to map out. You hear this thing about where the hot zones are?
Yes.
And so in other words, there will not be a blanket rule that say everybody who travel to any country in the world must have a vaccination.
So testing is going to play an important
very, very important.
Okay.
That's the next thing I intend. They haven't done it with me yet. But I think the testing will start after this whole thing. They want it to be done together. You know that. We can't even get all the vaccine together.
Yeah,
you can imagine having more centers now to test. So testing is on the backs. But as we get to closer and closer to the immunity level we have, testing is going to become the most important thing. Okay. For the time being, Italy, you're going to have to be tested. We're talking about the hotspots still in the world. England, you're going to have. Not so probably for Australia. You understand what I mean? Some countries going to lessen. As a matter of fact, we wouldn't make the rule. The country you're trying to travel to will be the one make the rules depending on what they want. So right now, America, from what I know, the little I know, Colombia is one of the places they ain't want you to come from unless you could prove you're vaccinated or not, because it's running wild in Colombia. Yes, some parts of Colombia.
So
right?
they're looking for a vaccine, proof of vaccine to enter Colombia?
To come here from there.
Oh, from there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm saying don't expect it.
Right. Okay.
Because you can't come from there. I think even England sometimes. Italy.
Yes.
You have to have vaccine because Italy blow up again. So that's what you would find. Okay. America would only accept certain, other places would only.
Of course.
That's where proof of vaccination is going to come in. And it's going to take more than a year for this thing to really slowly disappear.
Okay.
But you remember when I was coming up here to run, you had to have syphilis. A test.
Yeah.
You had to have syphilis. You had to have TB. In 1960s before you could get a visa to here. I think yellow fever was in it too.
Yeah, man, I think...
From Trinidad.
Yeah. There are certain... Even...
Right, so Tyrone, it's not strange.
No, it's not new.
I want people to understand that they may need it from you, so what?
Yeah.
You go get it. Like I did when I was coming over here to study. I had to go do it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. For the absolute best obstetrics and gynecology care, call South Florida OBGYN at 954-452-4377. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Winston Alexis, who has been serving the women of South Florida for over 25 years. Conveniently located in Plantation, Florida, the courteous and professional team at South Florida OBGYN are standing by to assist you. Schedule your appointment today by calling 954-452-4377. And we're back to Medically Speaking with Dr. Winston Alexis. So, Doc, I'm not easing up off of this vaccine thing, We're going to talk about it. And again, because I want our listeners to understand, to be comfortable, to know that some of the fears and some of the nonsense that they've been hearing, they need to go and get the vaccine.
Okay.
All right. So, a few shows back, you had mentioned to me that the way that vaccines are designed now versus the way they were designed years ago has changed. So, this theory when people say, oh, you're going to get the vaccine and them giving you the virus and all of that. Let's talk a little bit about
erroneous. That. But they're dealing with what they learn, especially our people from the country they come from, how vaccines were made back in the old days, how polio was made, how smallpox was made. You understand how tetanus was made? Was to take the whatever bacteria or virus it was, inactivate it with heat or something, crush it up, whatever they do, and use that to inject in my body so my body will feel is a real and make antibody. So you are actually using the organism. Right now, let me give you an analogy. Suppose the virus is a cow. Right? We take the horn and we find out that my body could make antibody to the horn. And you need the horn to go from person to person. So if I get my body to make antibody against the horn, the cow can't go nowhere. Where before I would need the whole cow to make the vaccine. all I'm using is one horn because that horn has some of the information, not all, that is vital to my body attacking anybody that comes with this little piece.
You know that I love you and I respect you and everything.
But what I do wrong now?
That's probably the worst analogy you've ever come up with.
But it's actually true. All right, let me tell you how it is.
But no, I understand.
I understand, but
I don't tell you that that's what it's terrible. That's terrible.
All right, let me do it in real time. I don't
jive in your mind.
But you're right. No, you're right. But I don't like to give people the real thing because they can't understand it.
That's why I like
let me give you another one. If you look at the virus on TV, you see all those spikes?
Yes.
My horn represents them spikes. So it used those spikes to stick on to you, to the cells.
Mm-hmm.
So if they have no spike, they can't stick on. So taking the message in one spike, we make the vaccine, and that spike, my body make antibodies to all the spikes.
I got you.
But the horn still ain't good?
I do.
You don't have to be so hard on your friend, man. Come on, Timmy. It's kind of bad, but the important thing is they get the idea. You only use a part.
Correct.
And the whole... I don't know why the cow coming.
I don't know why the cow coming there either. I thought you were going with the cow, and maybe you're going to tell me about the milk. I don't know. You come with the cow and the hard. That's why it kind of throw me off.
It's when you say it. I say, shit, Tyrone, right. That is the terrible. But the point is, only one part of the virus, a little piece.
Yes.
Our antibody make to the whole.
Understood.
So that can't infect you. That one little piece. It's not a virus.
So the message here is what I want to be clear.
You're not using the virus.
Correct.
A little chinky piece, like a horn from a cow. I have to remember that one too. But you can't do your friend like that.
No.
You cannot make an excuse.
All right.
And the way you say it, that is the worst. Oh, God. Okay.
It's because you have that kind of relationship.
No, I think... I think vodka.
Wet your whistle. But
vodka might make you make those analogies.
You mean the water there that you're drinking?
Yeah, all right, next time I'm going to make sure I make my analogy.
So,
oh God,
coming over that now, Doc. So moving forward again in society and in particular with our community and everything. So where do you see us? I don't know. Let's say a year from now, a year and a half from now. Are we still wearing masks? Does this become a part of our
good? What I am thinking.
Yeah.
Again, forward thinking. When you're in America, you got to think down the road.
Correct.
I have a feeling during flu season, mask wearing is going to become standard.
Okay.
Now we don't do it.
Right.
I go to my office, patient coughing, I coughing. And when you're either going to stay home or when you come in, you bring your mask, so my office is going to have one.
Right.
You see those glass things that you stand up in front and it give you your temperature? I think it's going to be in all restaurants. It's going to be in all public gathering places. So nobody had to put that light in your head. As you walk through, Maitre D will be able to see what your temperature is. If you're coughing, you will have a mask.
Okay, so you're thinking masking, monitoring, these are just going to become standard.
But not everybody. In certain situations.
Right.
For instance, we do a COVID test on every patient that going for surgery in the hospital. When I have a patient to operate, they'll have to automatically go for a COVID test. So I think people going into hospitals as patients, all will get COVID testing for a while. And maybe other things, who knows what.
Interesting.
Because again, you want to stop country spread.
Right.
Our old thought was, so you get the flu for what? We could take care of that. This teaches that in the future, thing will be so easy to the viruses that are coming out with the mutation and variations. So the idea is always going to prevent. For me, one thing I learned that I never did, that I will do from now on, I will wash my hands before I eat.
Yes.
Whether it's in a restaurant, whether it's home, right? Or have some sterilizing solution
Right.
that I rub my hand before I go in. Not just for corona, but it makes sense for what other viruses may become. You have to assume.
Yeah, I mean, but you do it.
Yeah.
You know, for surgery, you do it.
Right.
You know, before you examine your
Why
patients,
not common
you do it.
sense?
So just do it all the time. Yeah.
When you go home out of your car, before you sit down to eat or anything, you go wash your hand. Before you touch up your children and them.
Right.
Those are habits.
Yeah.
With the fact that viruses is going to be the enemy in the future. And the thing against all viruses will be wash your hands, right? Keep sterilized situation.
Right.
Wear mask when you're sick. Now, most of the year, when we have colds and nobody wear mask, they come in my house. Me too. I coughing up. That ended. You come in my office from now on and you are coughing, you will be given a mask. And hopefully, if I make some more money down the road, I'm going to have the temperature thing. Simple. You don't want to wear a mask, it's fine. Come back when you're well, you know. No, and when you listen to this, when you call for an appointment, this is what they're going to say. Have you had any illness recently? Have you been coughing?
So
we do that now.
And that's going to be a standard.
Standard. And
but let me ask this question.
Because of viruses.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, separate and apart from COVID now, just viruses, you're saying viruses moving forward. This is how you in your practice, that's how you're going to choose to treat it.
Obama said it 10 years ago. The next global warfare is not going to be with guns and grenades. Germ warfare. Because it's easy to start. It's hard to lay blame. My boy called it the China virus, but it had, nobody agreed with it. Hard to lay blame. You could get it in and nobody know who do it.
So these things that we are seeing as a result of COVID are going to become just a way of life now.
So get ready for it. Okay?
Well,
let me tell you, there's going to be a stockpile in my house. Right now I have one, corned beef, light with batteries, water. You know what it is? I have one for hurricane.
Yeah, of course.
I have one for the pandemic. I'm going to have some N95 mask. Just give me a start, 2 or 3 boxes before the country could catch up. Right? I'm going to have some sterilizers. You see where I'm going with it?
I see where you're going.
Okay, I'm going to have some gloves.
Okay. So prepare for this the same you would for a hurricane or for a blizzard or wherever you are.
Fight against viruses is going to be a way of life in the world. It has always been a way of life for a minority group of people. Or now it's becoming pandemic-ish.
Okay.
And prepare yourself for it. The other thing again, put away money. Instead of 1 month, they say, you know how long you catch hell for. 6 months should be in a fund somewhere.
Absolutely.
Only to be used in case of emergency. So all of these things, we have to rethink what has happened. And let me tell you one thing I'm sure of. It ain't going back to how it used to be.
All right.
So you better be prepared for what will come along.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it.
Man, you're wicked. It's the worst analogy. How can you do this to me?
The words according to Dr. Winston Alexis.
Listen, just scratch out that part where you
talk. No, I'm not scratching out.
What? Okay, Taylor. As usual, pleasure, my friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, Medically Speaking with Dr. Winston Alexis has been produced and presented by the Caribbean American Connection.
We appreciate your time with us on Medically Speaking with Dr. Winston Alexis, hosted by Tyrone Robertson. Join us next Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on caribcast.tv, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and most other popular podcast platforms. Doc is back. Although the host and guests are qualified professionals, they assume no responsibility for inaccuracies, omissions, inconsistencies, and any slight of people or organizations. Listeners should use their own judgment or consult an expert or their personal physician for specific applications to their individual medical problems.